Hey everyone, so today I'm running us through a 30-minute classic bar workout. So all you need there at home is a chair and find yourself some space and we'll get started. So we're going to start off with our wide plie track. So opening our legs up nice and wide, finding external rotation through the tops of our legs, arm lifts to the side here. Before we get started, really finding that wrap of our abdominals, that lift of our thighs and length through our spine. Here we go, sinking down, sink and lift. We sink and lift, awesome work. Sending our knees out over our second and third toes here and really watching that we're spinning from the tops of our thighs here. Keeping weight evenly out through the outer edges of our feet here. And let's breathe. We inhale to lower and exhale to rise. Inhale. And exhale. Good job. Sinking down and rise. 4 more like this. 3 and lift. Good. Really driving our heels down through the floor as we rise. Last one at this pace. We're going to take 3 counts to lower. Sinking slowly down. 2, 3, power lift. Good. As we drive up, really pressing our heels down through the floor and lifting our quad muscles up to the thigh bones. Sinking down. 2, 3, squeeze. Good. 4 more. Keep that breath flowing here. 3 and squeeze. Good. Final 2. And then from here, moving into that classic pulse. Last one, we're going to find that halfway point. Pulses. We sink. Sink. See if you can really work the legs wide here, sending the inner thighs out over the knees. Good. Keeping that length through our spine, that wrap through our abdominals. And we're going to start feeling that burn here through the quads. Good. Sink. Lift. Lift. Keep driving through. Breathing as it gets a little hotter. We have 8, 7, 6, 5. From here, staying low, finding stillness. Good. Sink and a little bit deeper, turn the thighs on. We're going to take the hands to our prayer position as an option, thumbs to sternum, and we're going to move into our heel peels. So we lift one heel, drop it back down slowly. Opposite, lift and drop. We lift and drop. Good. Really driving that heel from the sitting bones here. So we feel that lift coming from underneath the bum and drop. Ooh, 2 more. Up and down. Last one. We're going to keep our heel lifted here. Keep it high and releve. Pulse the legs. Sink, sink. Good. Sink, sink. Keep that length here through spine. The ribs wrapping in, the breath flowing. 8 more on this side. Good. Final 4. And we're switching our heels over here. Opposite foot, sink, sink. Good. Really driving through. Big bar warm up. Nice work. Last 8, 7, 6. Now a little finisher here in our wide plies. Dropping both heels down. Stay in the bottom of that position. Thumbs to sternum. We're going to twist. Turn to the knee. Back to center. Good. Twist and center. Now as we twist, watch that that opposite knee does not peel in. So keep it pushed back out. Don't let anything roll. We're just twisting from the obliques. Twist, center. Good. Twist and center. Last one at this pace. We're going to speed it up side to side. We go twist. Twist. Good. Keep pushing the knees back over the toes. Can we sink a little bit deeper? Good. 8 more. 8, 7. Twisting from the obliques. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, good job. Let's take a quick stretch over our chair. So fingertips to your chair, stepping ourselves out. Keep the knees soft and just create some length through the spine here. And you may like to pedal out through the knees and really spin our inside thighs back behind us. Keep that strength through the upper body. And then bending our knees deeply, we'll take our fingertips down toward the floor. Hang here a moment. Shaking head, yes. shaking it no, and then peeling ourselves up one vertebra at a time, rolling our shoulders back. Okay, let's get into our narrow V's. So finding that little zip up through the inside thighs here, the heels stay still in space, and we'll turn to face our bar. So driving up through the balls of the feet, thighs on. We're gonna move into our plies in 7 and 8. Sink. Sinking. And lifting. We sink. And lift. Good. Inhaling as we lower. And then exhaling as we squeeze our heels in and up. Down. And squeeze. Good job. Using breath. Inhale to expand. And exhale to rise. Good. As we drive up, pressing our heels together and then feeling that zip come from our sitting bones and up into our pelvic floor here as well. Nice. Now see if we can come a little bit deeper here without losing that control through our low belly. So keep it wrapped. Nice, loading through our quads. We've got 2 more. Sink, squeeze, last one, and we're gonna move into our pulses. So staying halfway, keep it squeezed in, down, zip, zip. Good, squeeze the heels, lift through our sitting bones, finding those shakes in the quads here. Big breaths. Good, keep that wrap of the belly, that length through the back of the neck. Can you grow taller through the crown as you sink down into your plie? 8 more, 8, 7, 6, squeeze and lift, 4, 3, 2, holding still here. Now wrapping the belly, we're gonna wing our knees out. So out and out. It's a tiny little movement here, really loading up through the quads, keeping length on. 8, 7, 6, 5, last 4, and we're gonna move into a little pulse here. Back we come, we pulse back, 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 back. Can you squeeze your glutes even tighter? Can you find a little more depth in your narrow V? Good job. We've got 8, 7, 6, go deeper, 5, last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good, let's take a quad stretch. Right heel coming up toward the glutes, squeezing our inside thighs together, driving down through our standing foot. Nice job, shaking that leg out. We'll go the other way. Driving our right foot down through the floor this time, squeezing our inside thighs together, a gentle engagement of your left glute, then really creating space through the left hip flexor in quad. Okay, we're gonna move into some squats now. So you're welcome to have your hands on your chair here if you need a little bit more support. Otherwise, taking your hands to your prayer position. So wrapping our belly in, weight in the heels, a fist distance between our knees, we're going to sink and drive. Sink, drive. Good, sending your bum all the way back behind you, making sure weight is always in the heels here. Nice, inhale, exhale to squeeze. And you can press your hips slightly further forward here, just to get that extra engagement through your sitting bones. Keeping that core wrapped in, and your spine drawing up toward your spine so that you're not arching through your backs here. Nice, 4 more, down, squeeze, down, and squeeze. Okay, last 2 like this, and we're gonna do 2 little pulses at the bottom, and then a drive. It's a little quicker. We go pulse, pulse, squeeze. Pulse, pulse, squeeze. Good, keeping our knees out over our second and third toes so the knees aren't collapsing in. Keep sending them wide. Squeeze, pulse, squeeze. Good, 4 more of these. 4, 3, last 2, and last 1. Normal pulses, stay at the bottom, stay low. Sink, squeeze. Now as you squeeze, can you press your heels down through your mat here for extra engagement into your sitting bones, into your glutes. Good, down, squeeze, and squeeze. 4 more, 3, now staying in this position, stay low, keep the ribs on, hands to the bar or chair. We're gonna lift our heels up and down here. So really scooping from the low abdominals as you lift and lower your heels here. So I want you to feel that squeeze from your sitting bones, but also that wrap of your low belly as the heels drive up underneath you. Nice. Now as you move, can you keep the cross section of your upper body nice and still? So we should barely see any movement from the head down to the hip points. Because everything underneath you scoops to lift, drops, scoops, drops. Good. 2 more at this pace. And we're gonna speed things up a little. Come a little deeper into your squat. Pulse the heels up, drop, drop, drop. Good. Up, drop. Last 4, 3. Now our heels are gonna stay high and releve. Thumb goes behind us now. Pulse back, lift, lift. Good. Keep that length in the spine, reach from the crown, extend from the tail. Nice work. 16, 15, good. Press the knees out over the toes. Keep breathing through the burn. Nice job. Final 8, 8, 7, 6. Good job. Finish it off. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice job. Whew, shaking the legs out. Okay, we're gonna come down to the floor and move into some donkey kick movement. So we've got our donkey kicks and our straight leg lifts. So coming down onto our forearms, into our forearm plank position. So as we set up for this, trying to keep those nice railway tracks through the arms, so parallel position, press the floor away, engage your serratus, and draw your heart up between your shoulder blades here. We're gonna start with a flexed foot, belly on, and we're gonna start nice and slow. All right, in 7 and 8, we lift up for 2 and drop for 2. Squeeze and lift, heeling it back down. Now, as we lift up, really lifting from our inside seam of the thigh here so that we don't turn out through the legs. So lift it up. Now, the whole time, I want you to stay active down through your forearms and keep pressing the shoulder blades away. That's it. Keep your core on and keep your shoulders connected to your core. 2 more like this. Drop. Last one, we're going to do our 2 staggered movements. So up halfway, whole way, halfway, all the way, halfway, drop. So 4 little discrete points that we are hitting here. Squeeze the heel up into the bum here as we do this. So we're contracting more through the hamstrings every time. So heel nice and close to butt. Good. Drop and drop. Halfway, all the way, drop and down. 2 more like this. Good. Really keep the ribs wrapping up into the spine. We are going to pulse at the top. Drive, drive. Good. Drive, drive. Nice. Keep it tight. 8, 7, 6, 5. Can we lengthen from the spine a little more? Now staying at the top, holding here, we're going to pulse the heel up into the bum like a little mini hamstring curl. In and in. That's it. Squeeze it in. Squeeze it in. Keep your thighs still and high as you can. Last 8, 7, 6, 5. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop that leg down. Now extending it long. We're not finished on this side. I want you to keep pressing down through your forearms, lifting the legs straight up and down. Up, down. Good. Now this time we're really focusing on the length of the leg here. As always, height is not key. We want extension and length by lifting through the front of the thighs and guiding our leg up from the inner seam of our leg. Good. Lift and lower. So we should really be feeling that crease between the hamstring and the glute here. We're lifting our heel and hamstring as one piece. 4 more. Drop. 3. Drop. Good. Last 2. Really draw the belly in. Last one. That 2-part movement. Same again. Halfway. All the way. Halfway. Drop. Good. Up. Up. Down. Down. Hitting those little discrete points. Squeezing at all 4 points here. Squeeze. Squeeze. Drop. And drop. 4 more. Good. Keep pressing the forearms away. This is a tough upper body exercise as well. This is our last one. And then we're going into that same set of pulses. Drive. Drive. The leg is feeling like lead now. Keep it long and strong. Wrap the ribs up to support your spine. 8, 7, 6, 5. The last 4 here. And we've got one more little movement. Keep the leg high. We take it out an inch, in an inch, out, in. Good. Squeeze it back in toward the center line. Draw it in. Take it out. Squeeze in. Out. Squeeze in. Good. Out and in. The tiniest little movement. 4 more. 4. Squeeze it in. 3. Squeeze it in. Last 2. Last 1. Good. Drop back into child's pose. Take a moment here. Bum all the way back to your heels. Stretch your fingertips out in front and just melt your head down toward the floor. And create a little bit of movement here, rocking the hips from side to side, rolling the shoulders away, creating space through the upper back. Good job. All right, moving into our second side. So back down into our forearms. If you get tired through the shoulders at all, you can clasp your hands. Otherwise, really working for that rounded position. Bending the foot. Here we go. Up, drop. Good. Up and drop. Now the core is going to get a little tired here, especially on our second side. So really try and wrap from your spine round to the front of the core. Get that transverse abdominis really active. That is the under armor of our core here that protects our spine. Drive it up from the inner seam. Drop. Nice. 4 more of these. 3 and drop. Good job. 2 more. Drop. Last time, and we're going to move into that 4-point movement. So 2 up, we go halfway, all the way, halfway, drop. Good. 4 little points, 2 on the way up, 2 on the way down, and they're sharp. We squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Good. Halfway, all the way, halfway, drop. That's it. Keep the core wrapping in. So as we kick our leg up, we're trying not to allow the ribs to flare down. We don't want to sway through our back. So everything's drawing up toward the sky. Nice job. Last time. And we're going to move into that set of pulses. Up we come. Squeeze, squeeze. Keep pushing the forearms down into the floor. Good. Keep it tiny. Flex the foot. We're pressing the roof off with the sole of our feet here. That's it. Last 8, 7, 6, 5. Final 4. Keep the belly on. Heel is going to come in toward the bum. Squeeze, 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 and squeeze. Take your focus, your mind, to the hamstring here. We're really contracting through the backs of the legs. Good. 4 more. 3, straightening the legs. We know where we're going now. Slowly up, slowly down. Good. Now this one is about length. From the crown forward and from the toes away. Imagine you're being pulled in 2 directions here. Inhale, exhale. Keep the breath flowing. Make sure you can hear the sound of your own breath as we move. Nice. 2 more like this. Length and drop. Last one, 2 part. We're segmenting it here as we did before. Halfway, all the way, halfway, drop. Good. Halfway, all the way, halfway, drop. Try and keep everything square here. We have a tendency to take the weight of the right hip here, or the opposite hip, to the outer side of the mat. So see if you can square things up. Keep your knee and your hip in line. All right, let's move into our pulses here. We pulse, pulse. Good. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. Heel and hamstring is one unit here. Can you point your toes? 8, 7, 6, 5. How is the core? Wrap it in toward the spine. Out and in to finish. We go out and in. Out and in. Good. Keep driving here. Into our next track. We're pushing through. Take it out. Squeeze it in. Good. Take it out. Squeeze it in. Out and in. Good. Out. Let's go 4 more of these. Really think drawing in toward our imaginary midline of our abdominals. Last 2. Last 1. And in. Good. Okay, we're coming up to our forearms now. We're moving into our forearm drops, really working through our triceps. So hands splayed nice and wide, shoulders over the hands. Good. Get your base. And we're dropping and lifting. So forearms all the way down to the floor here. We drop and lift. Drop and lift. Now you choose how much weight you put into the hands here, into the forearms. If you lean back a little bit, more weight into the knees, you'll get less work into the triceps. Nice, really pulling your elbows back toward your knees and hip crease here. Drop back, lift, squeeze. Now we always want to think here about lifting our arm muscles up toward the bones here, rather than locking the elbows out at the top. Good, last 2. Last 1. We're going to take the arms all the way to the floor. Hold here. Okay, we're going to pulse the elbows up now. Up an inch. Up an inch. Good. Up and up. Little tiny little movement here. Again, you choose how much you load into the triceps. We have 8, 7, 6, 5. Good. Keep pulsing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Coming all the way down onto our stomachs. We're going to take our hands to our forehead here and move into some little lifts, keeping our core wrapped in as we do this. We lift up and down. We lift and lower. Good. Watching that we don't press our bellies down through our mat here. So we're keeping everything wrapped in as we lift. Nice. We have 4, 3, good. Last 2, and last 1. We're going to take our arms out to the side, same thing. Lift the arms in a cactus position. Can we keep our chin to our chest, the back of the neck long? Good. Squeezing into our posture muscles. 4, 3, good job. Last 2. And we're going to hold everything at the top here. So take the arms back up, the sternum up, hold. Can you float your legs here as you do this? Squeeze your thighs together, lift a little bit higher, reach through the crown. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Okay, finding our dolphin plank. We've been in this position already in our donkey kick, so we're really going to feel it. So forearms down, tuck our toes, hold. I want strong legs here, and I really want us to feel that protraction through the shoulder blades again. Shoulders over our elbows, legs strong, belly strong. We're holding here to finish. Now, can we lengthen the crown forward and the heels away again in 2 directions? Lengthen by lifting the legs, squeezing the bum, holding. Good, we're nearly there. This is our last little bit of work. All right, we're gonna rock forward and back here. Rock forward and back. You can do this on your knees. Just reduce your rock slightly. Forward an inch, back an inch. Good, keep it tight through your upper back, through your core. Forward, back, forward, back. Good, 2 more of these. And last one, dropping the knees, refinding your child's pose. We are done. Let's take a little quick stretch. So dropping our seat back down toward our heels, spin your arms out so your pinkies are facing the mat, and we're getting external rotation through the upper back and shoulders. Catching our breath here. And let's walk our hands to the left side of our mat. Your knees can be together or they can be wide, whatever is best for your hips. And then stack the right hand on top of the left. C-curve the rib cage over toward the right. We're really breathing deeply here into all of the connective tissue and the muscles, the intercostals in the rib cage. Big breath. And switching sides. Left hand on top of right. Same again, create that big C curve through the body here. And feel the breath in the belly, the ribs, and the back. That big expansive breath in and out. One more breath like that. Inhale to create space. As you exhale, see if you can go a little deeper into that stretch. Good, hands back to center. Splaying the hands here, rocking forward slightly. Let's tuck the toes, find a downward facing dog. So lifting our hips high. Seeing if you can plant your heels down in time, but you can bend your knees here as much as you need to create length through your spine. Keep your hands splayed, your index fingers forward. And see how much space you can create through your spine here. Good, one more breath in. And then dropping your knees back down. Well done.